Okay, so I have the honor of sitting again with Sumo Cyco. How you doing, Matt?
Very good. Very good, Or.
Thanks for having us.
Better days?
Have we ever had bad days?
Oh, I've been following your, was it YouTube?
Last
Facebook?
Saturday we had a bad day. 2 bad days. It was a rough time, but we're way better right now.
Yeah, we had to fill in everybody, we had a break-in Dublin, and our window was smashed in, our passports were stolen, a few other items.
iPad, camera, but nothing like that was really that personal or painful for us to deal
And
with.
thankfully they did not take any of our gear or the money that we had in here. So.
Which now we don't have any money. If anybody's listening, we have no money in this fucking camper. Leave us alone. We got rid of it. We're wiring all guarantees. All merch money goes to our promoters, and they deliver it into another account. There's nothing in here. You hear that?
So is it something that you guys think about before you go on tour? Do you have like tour fears of worst case scenario?
This is the first time it's ever happened. I'm 40 years old, man. I'm not scared of how old I am. They're all young. I'm the old guy in the band. I like to consider myself a pro out here. I've never ever been ripped off my whole life until Dublin, and it was mainly just because I let my guard down a tiny bit, and I parked in what I consider one of the safest areas you could be, on a main area where this car is going by 24/7 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right in front of the Guinness building. Like, I did all of what you couldn't park it any safer unless you put it inside somewhere. I went for a tattoo, and they went for lunch, and in a matter of 2.5 hours somebody had done this. So I don't feel stupid. None of us feel stupid about what happened. That was just bad luck, and we are just lucky that they were stupid idiots that missed everything valuable and got nothing that was that valuable, except for some of our merch, which I don't know what they're going to do with it. I guess somebody's going to wear like 40 Sumo Cyco shirts to keep himself warm while he's a homeless guy or something, but whatever. Wasn't that bad.
And I don't know, it goes through my mind like somebody who's that desperate, in life.
You're like, hey man, if you need my shirt, some shirts to stay warm.
Dude, if you just ask me, for some money, I'd rather just give it to you instead of going through the hassle of breaking my friggin' window and then having to
They stole some of her makeup.
Yeah, like, I cannot find a few items of my makeup. It's really weird.
They stole a ton of dirty laundry. Like, why you would do that? I have no idea, but...
Yeah.
At least our camper doesn't stink as bad as it did then.
Yeah.
They took the stench as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird thieves. It's like a spin-off of Home Alone or something.
Yeah, it's a really weird one.
Okay, but I mean, it happens a lot. Bands are, the camper vans are being broken into. Bands are losing stuff. It's not as easy and glamorous as we thought it would be to be on the road. And obviously you leave friends behind when you go on tour. And also when you finish tour, you leave some friends behind. Is it something that you think about that kind of goes through your mind when you think about the next step as a band?
Yeah, I mean, touring is not for everybody. There are definitely some pros and cons, and moments like what happened in Dublin make you kind of go like, I'm never, like, this is so frustrating. Like, how are we supposed to make ends meet when they're taking, our merch we're supposed to sell that night and making it, giving us more expenses to fix the windows.
But
and
shout out to whoever, what was the company called that made our merch just now?
O-Merch, yeah.
Shout out to O-Merch, because literally in one phone call in 3 days or something, we've already got our merch back. Like, they made a new merch and had us in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Got delivered today, didn't
Yeah,
it?
so, but yeah, and it sucks because we're out here, we're working our butts off to try to get from city to city. Matt's doing, like, no sleep drives to make it to the next place. And
we wouldn't have to as much usually. We're actually pretty organized where we don't have to do all nights, but because of the break-in, we had to do some extra major drives, like from Glasgow to London in one night. Is with traffic with London, it took us 9.5, almost 10 hours. That sucks. I'm not used to doing that. I don't want to do that, right? So that kind of sucked. But at least we got our passports getting done. Canadian Embassy's already hooked that up, so we got the van fixed, the windows in.
Yeah. So we're feeling
survivors,
better
baby. We're survivors. We keep moving forward. That's what we do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna, it sucks when you see the bill racked up at the end of the tour, and you're like, oh, if we didn't have that happen, we could have made this much money back.
We'll survive again. We'll do more runs.
Yeah.
We have some really cool news that we can't talk about, but I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. This is another interview. Hold on. Sorry. Okay.
So back in.
Sorry, dude.
Just bring that up. Okay. So I want to talk about the kind of support system, because when you're home, then you have your family. If something is bugging you, then you can kind of cry on their shoulder. But most of the time, if I'm not mistaken, it's the four of you. You don't have a tour manager, you don't have a driver, so just the four of you.
Yeah.
And then you have bands that are either touring with you or that you just bump from one city to the other. So you have friends in some locations already, but then you leave them again. So it's like a weird support system that's either distant or just sort of single serving in one city.
But those support systems, even if we're leaving them, they stay online with us all the time. So the amount of bands and friends that have stayed online with us, even though I haven't seen some people in Birmingham since the last time we were here, I've been in touch with them tons of times online. So that's what's good about being online these days, is you can stay in touch with people. So we've really built an amazing family out here, and the amount of fans and bands that are willing to help us all the way right now. When we did get broken into, we started getting emails of PayPal accounts already starting to send us money, which we haven't answered any of them. We don't need their money, although we appreciate that kind of thing.
But they were offering places to stay and
shower,
food and anything I could do to help you guys. Like, we do have such a great support system here, and lots of friends that are friends. They're like fans, but they become friends.
They just become family to an extent. Yeah. I think we don't really consider them fans or family. So we don't get to see them again for 6 months, but I'd like to think that we know we're going to, and they know we're going to. We're not about to quit what we're doing. So we always have this thing of like, it's going to be great. We'll see you in 6 more months, and we go hard. And tonight usually we go really hard. Usually we hit the dance club, but it's not on tonight. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I know some fans will want to party. And Manchester, when we play tomorrow, there's a club we always go to called Liars Club, and usually 20 or 30 fans just come with us and party all night there. And I think we've kind of been doing that for the past 3 years. I think we'll always do that until we can't do it anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
But how do you guys deal with just going from one goodbye to the other? I mean, it's the following morning, it's hello again.
You take the time to make sure you know their names and appreciate them properly. There's a difference between like, hey, thanks a lot, I just met you tonight, you helped me out, and you forget them. For instance, the girl here tonight that's doing sound, her name's Emma. It's either Emma or Emily. I call her M. That's how I met her. So I just call her M, so I don't actually know what her full name is, but I know it's M. That's what I knew back in the day. She's done sound for us before. As soon as I walked in, I was like, there's M. Like, right away, it comes together. I go give her a hug. There's a camaraderie already because she's helped us before, and we take the time to say hi to her and let her know we appreciate the fact that she's here working with us again, and that I even remembered M. I think that it just helps her be happier to work with us, and I think that's an important thing to do, is make sure. Your name's Orr. There's a reason we remember that, though, right? Like, you leave an impression on us, I'd like to think we leave an impression on you. And that's everything, isn't it?
But I'm trying to figure out how it is, or what pushed you through when it's mostly just kind of the four of you versus the world.
Music, brother. What else? How are you trying to figure that out? This is easy. Yeah. You think we're here because we just want to be here? Like, we're here because we play music, because we fucking love music. That's the be all and end all, especially for the kind of money we make half the time.
And I think once your love of music doesn't outweigh
then you're in trouble.
The things that you have to deal with in order to play the music, that's when people kind of ditch the touring life, just because they don't love it enough to want to deal with the headaches of being away from family,
cutting corners, learning how to cut corners so that you run it right so you can play music. Like I said, I'm not a spring chicken, and I go out of my way to go, how will we keep making music as we get older? And the only way to me is by having a family of fans and friends that support us while we're doing it. But don't make no mistake, we are out here because we love fucking music. Yeah. We like getting on stage and doing what we do, and we have a lot of fun doing it, and we want to make sure those people walk away having a blast with us.
Yeah.
But what do you do when you kind of level up those pros and cons and you're not sure?
We don't have enough cons, man. We've always have more pros on this. Look at that. If we were in con world, we wouldn't be. How many times would we come? It always is good for us, and it always gets better.
Yeah, but there was a moment I remember you saying after the break, and we were like, I'm never doing this again. Like, where you're just so fed up with it in that moment.
I don't think I think you took it as like meaning I was never doing music again. I kind of meant like more I'm not going to park the RV. I'm never parking the RV here, going to get a tattoo in the day and hoping that it's going to be all right. I don't think it meant I'm quitting music or anything like that.
Yeah, but I think you sometimes are more optimistic in some ways. Like, Matt is a bit of a crazy warrior type of personality, whereas I think I have more of the moments, especially, I don't know if it's just being a female on the road and being like the only female, or having, to do my hair and my makeup and not showering as much, and things that bug me more than the guys sometimes. that make me sometimes go like, oh, like sometimes when you get to a venue and the bathrooms are like the grossest bathrooms you've ever been in, and you're just like, oh, why am I doing this again? Like, this is disgusting, and I have to like do my makeup in here and here in this kind of gross little
I think it's all bullshit.
And he's
in the end,
exactly.
In the end, you could be fucking home trying to find some stupid day job to survive, and you're gonna fucking hate it way worse than a fucking ugly bathroom.
Yeah.
That's the real truth.
And what happens when you are surrounded by people, either band members or other people around you that are a bit negative?
Then they're not allowed to be in the band.
But how can you help them up?
I don't need to help them up. If you're negative, I don't want you around me. I'm not helping you become like a positive person. I'm not here to babysit, and you're not either. We're four of us are positive people, and that's how it works. And anybody negative, I just eliminate them. Okay. They're not allowed in our world. They're not allowed in our world. That's just the way it goes. I don't mind talking with somebody, but I definitely don't play the babysitter. Like I need four people that want to work together and do this. That's how it goes. And if you don't have a good attitude, then you're going to bring me down. I don't need to bring you up.
Good attitudes are definitely key.
Yeah.
I think as soon as there's like, I know that sometimes if there's a complaint thing that starts happening, it's contagious, where you're complaining that it's cold, complaining that you don't have, and then people just keep going, and it just turns in, it just negativity breeds negativity, right?
Yeah, it perpetuates.
So,
it's not something we deal with at all. It's not me, man.
I tried to find Matt's dark side, but there's no such thing. I have
a dark side if somebody crosses me wrong. I have a dark side if somebody doesn't respect us properly, but I don't believe that I disrespect people, so I don't expect to be treated that way. So it's rare people treat me wrong, because I make sure that I treat them right. And as long as we work that way, we don't run into too many negative situations, brother.
Okay, I'm going to try.
But catch me on a drunken night and somebody says the wrong thing to her, I will knock them right the fuck out. How's that for my negative side?
Okay, I'm scared more than last time.
There you go.
Okay, I'll hit you with two short questions. If you don't mind sharing your biggest fear ever, something that will just destroy you, like...
I think I've kind of nailed, like, I'm really a personality that does not like failure or the feeling of failing something, and I will try a million times because I don't like feeling like I can't do something if I want to do it. So I think that deep down is like the big thing in the back of my mind, that I don't want to like fail.
Yeah, I don't have that many fears, and that's not being egotistical.
You're claustrophobic.
I'm very claustrophobic. I get issues with claustrophobia. Although last night we were at the Skin J concert, and I was drunk and I jumped in that mosh pit.
He never does that. Because
never do that, but I was having so much fun. They sounded so good. Again, I love music so much that I was like, this is so good. See you later.
That way the cons.
I was in, right? I don't have a lot of fears. I don't want to have a lot of fears, so I fight that kind of concept big time. So I have a bit of claustrophobia, but I have a fear of losing my hearing. I never want to lose my hearing, but because we're playing loud music, I get nervous sometimes with that. I try to use my earplugs. I get fear of my hands sometimes. Like if we're snowboarding, I get nervous of like breaking something because I want to play music, but it's always surrounded by music.
I get nervous at the borders and stuff.
She gets nervous at borders.
Like if we've done anything wrong, like there's sometimes like I'm a little bit too much of like a worrywart when it comes to like a certain rule or something, and I'm like, guys, you could not let this happen, because I would hate to have a situation where we're not allowed to cross the borders, because that's what we do for our lives, right? Is go through borders and travel around the world. So I'm always like getting my paperwork and my work permits all like organized, and I'm like, want to make sure I'm abiding by the rules here. But yeah, it drives him crazy sometimes where I'm just like worried too much, and he's just like, calm down.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've mentioned that you're not allowing darkness and negativity around you, but being for people in one van, there's got to be one silly disagreement, whether it's who's the best Spice Girl that might destroy the band. What's the silliest argument?
There was one thing that we were arguing about. Me and Trozy and Oscar were going back and forth about Christmas music, because Oscar like downloaded, as soon as it was December 1st, he like downloaded his Christmas music playlist, and like me and Troz were like, no, don't play the Christmas music yet. And Troz was like, it's only allowed for 2 days before Christmas. I'm like, okay, I can allow a little bit more than that. And then we're having a debate of like how appropriate Christmas music is, and it's valid. Don't know the word. Validity as a type of music. Like, is it good music, or is it just cheesy and terrible?
So we're not going to get a Christmas cover from Sumo Cyco.
We did one, Little Drummer Boy.
A couple of years ago, way back in the day, we did a Little Drummer Boy. Ooh. It's on YouTube somewhere or something, but probably not an actual Christmas cover, but I think we're going to try and get a cover done soon that The one we're playing right now is starting to go over really well, and we weren't going to record it, but I think we're going to now.
Okay, so what's in the future for Sumo Cyco? The acoustic sessions number 2.
That's tomorrow. So 6 songs. It'll be part 2 to our earlier EP we released last year. So I'm excited for that and everybody to hear the songs acoustically tomorrow. And then we have been writing like crazy at home. So a new record in 2019.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
There's a lot. I wish I could tell you
You're
more.
always scared of that. I think before the previous release, you committed to a date without you.
Yeah, only because I'm like a master planner of what I want to happen, and like obviously we want it out, but we also have a new management company that's working with us, and they have their own opinions on how we should work our business, and we're still getting to really learn each other as a family, and so I don't want to put a date on it, but I think we have at least 14 really strong songs right now.
Okay.
But I think before Christmas I'm going to try and write about 3 or 4 more. We're going to try and pick out of the best 20 or 25 songs and find the best we can. So
should we expect another crowds funding campaign, or?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Unless something else changes, I'd like to do that still. I believe in that's the way for us. That's our family has been that way for us, and it'll help us grow and know how to build our business next year by seeing that happen already instead of hoping, like, oh, hopefully this, like when they start supporting right away, I go, okay, this is how much is coming in. Now I know how I can build our tours. It really does help. So we'll probably try to get one together by the end of January, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all the best with that.
Thanks, buddy.
Anything else you want to add to fans and listeners out there?
Only that we love you, or like we appreciate you always doing an interview for us when you come, and please never get upset at me when I'm intense about stuff, man. Like you ask me questions, I'll give you answers.
I appreciate
right?
your
That's
honesty.
fair, right? And I hate to say that it's kind of got to cut it short, but I guess we got interviews and we have to play by 8.
Okay.
So I apologize for being so quick
we'll
with
be
you, man.
back here soon. Right?
Yeah,
All right.
I think you'll see us in June, hopefully.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about, maybe. So
Very nice, guys. Thank you very much again.
Thanks, Or.
Okay.
thanks, buddy. No, seriously, man, it's good to see you again.
Okay.